I enjoy making art, but for the past several years I've really enjoyed making documentary films about other artists. I've always been interested in why artists create, and in doing so, formed a network of relationships with artists all over the community. So one day, I watched another filmmaker's documentary about an art exhibit that invited a bunch of different artists from all different mediums and all different demographics. Some of them were at the peak of their careers, while others were just starting out. And in the film, all the artists were asked to make art about one person. I thought to myself, why not try this type of exhibit in my town? Once completed, you would see all these different portraits and works all about the same person, and you could turn around and there would be the person himself in the flesh. But who would that person be? Well, I immediately said that person needs to be Sticky Steve. I first met Sticky over 20 years ago. He's always been this very unique individual. Sticky seemed to be constantly involved in these interesting activities, and he was always willing to include everyone.
Sticky is curious. He sees goodness in all people. He sees beauty in nature in a really profound way, both in the minutiae of nature and in the larger picture of nature. It's fascinating.
You got a bee sting on your tongue. It's indescribable.
He's loyal and loving and just devoted to his family and friends.
My name is Sticky Steve Morrison. I live at Tiger Creek in Central Florida, and I live out here full time, and I'm retired from conservation work, managing the woods out back. The first experience with creativity in my life was when I wrote a book when I was about 5 years old. It was called How to Build a House. And it was a picture book with typed text. And that was my first creative project. I majored in art because it was the only discipline that didn't have homework. And art was something that I wanted to do because I wanted to be an environmental cartoonist. And when I got to art school, I quickly forgot about that because the art school was so serious, and that wasn't really in the curriculum. And I was doing life drawings with nude women and things like that, and I totally forgot about cartooning. When Paul first asked me if I would be the person that this exhibit was based on, I wanted to run out of the room. I didn't really appreciate the extent that I would be the focus of it. I mean, I knew I would be the focus of it, but I didn't realize how the depth of it would soak into my understanding.
So the project started out with me sending this invitation, and I sent it out to over 100 artists, and 63 said yes. The only rule was to do a portrait of this one person, but it can be in any medium you want, any size you want, any way you want. Hopefully this project will shed light on one example of a life well lived. And not only will Sticky get to meet these artists, but these artists will get to meet Sticky.
Nice to meet you.
All right, nice to meet y'all. I'm the celebrity you've all been worrying about. Yeah.
I'm Lexi. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. This experience with the Sticky Steve exhibit has been just awe-inspiring to me. It has made me just really appreciative of people's willingness to buy into an idea and let their creative juices flow. It's been really inspiring. You know, it became such a sort of a recognition of who I am, more than the person sitting just for a painting. And so that has really been an incredible experience to receive that acknowledgement and recognition. Really grateful for that. I have a tendency to avoid turning people down when I'm asked something, so I get into a lot of situations like this that most people would have actually run screaming out of the room and never come back, but I usually come back and go along with it. And that has been a really advantageous trait for me, because I have put myself into many situations that most people wouldn't get themselves into, and I think I've benefited as a person from it.
I would describe Sticky. I kind of think of him as like a wilderness man. I don't know. I think maybe I describe it more in relation to like my dealings with him. He's always so welcome and open, and you know, we go over there, we eat, or he's always feeding someone or teaching the kids how to garden, or like Sticky is more of an experience, I think, than anything.
One of the artists asked me to take a picture of Sticky. He wanted Sticky's head turned a certain way. He sent me the photograph back and asked me to measure Sticky's face, but the plane of his face in the photograph. So I got a photograph with lines on it, and then I had to get Sticky to stand just like he was in the photograph and measure the plane in front of his face with the exact dimensions from the artist. I was intimidated.
I always come from yes. I always start with yes, and it's hard to turn yes into no. I learned that there's an amazing human ability to create so many different outcomes from one origin, and that is really neat. It really says a lot about the human spirit and the human creative being that we are, and just to see how artists come up with their own design is really miraculous. When I walked into the gallery and experienced the Sticky Life movie going on, and all the artwork and the sculptures, and it was overwhelming, and crazy and surreal, but all in a really good way. And I did not turn around and run screaming out of the room. I embraced it, and it's a beautiful thing. I hope that people who experience the exhibit reflect on themselves as much as my life, or look at my life as a comparison to their life, and help them to consider the direction of their lives as much as look at my life and see it as what it was. I think we all bounce off of each other's reality, and if I can be the impetus for people to live a more authentic life, a more meaningful life, then I'm really happy. So this exhibit has been a totally unique life experience for me. I am so glad that I took part in this project. As weird as it is and has been for me, it's just been also incredible to, I don't know, to just have this much attention and recognition. It's been wonderful. And would I do it again is the question I could ask myself. And I would say no. Why would I do it again? Let's move on and do something else. Let's do something else exciting and new.
Do, 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 do.